Non-Americans, what is the best American food? European who moved to the States, so I've tried some American dishes that are beyond what is common back home. Lobster rolls. These would be so popular back home. They are the perfect seafood sandwich. Smoked brisket. Wow. I tried this in some small Texas town and that place deserves a Michelin star. Key lime pie. I think I ate a whole one by myself when I was in Miami. Chocolate chip cookies. This is a list of my favorite foods. And imagine trying these for the first time like this guy. Yum. I lived in Asia and when I visited the USA for 10 days my entire diet was basically Texas barbecue with all the sides, all the pies, apple, peach, pecan, key lime. Philly cheesesteak hamburger and fries. The simple desserts like fudge brownies, chocolate chip cookies, Krispy Kreme plain glazed donuts. Soft drinks like Dr. Pepper and root beer are absolutely hated in Asia. Y'all have barbecue down to a ducking science. In some places like St. Louis, KC and TX it's like a religion. Edit, seems like I won't be able to set foot in the Carolinas ever again. After reading these threads I'm convinced I could make a killing by moving to Europe with my smoker and laying down some barbecue. I really like Reuben sandwiches. This is an excellent choice that I wasn't expecting to see. Pro tip for non-Americans, if you are ever in the US for Thanksgiving, end of November, and have nothing to do, go on the local city subreddit where you are and post that you are a foreigner who would like to experience Thanksgiving and I guarantee you will get an invite from someone to the best holiday we have. In Vietnam, chocolate chip cookies are called American cookies. I always wondered about this. Like if certain dishes or whatever were called American. Like in the USA, we will say, let's go out for Italian food or whatever. Like if there were an American restaurant in another country, what would be on the menu? Interestingly enough, the Vietnamese generally also view spaghetti and especially lasagna as American. There was actually a restaurant I saw the first time I was there called Uncle Sam's All-American Grill. They had steak, spaghetti, soda. On the marquee the way Buffalo Wild Wings has wings. Beer. Sports. I helped open an American bar in the 90s in Köln, Germany. Mainly it was burgers and ribs, cheesecakes, brownies, sloppy joes. Germans love that. Nachos were big as well. I look at the pictures from the restaurant and the food looks so bad. I may be a simpleton, but an average diner with bottomless filter coffee, pancakes, bacon and syrup was my favorite part of the day. Although I did put on about 10 to 15 kilograms after a month in Texas. Edit, since I got some upvotes, I would like to shout out Lulu's Diner in San Antonio. I Airbnb'd next door, and ate there at the counter every morning for 2 weeks. American here, but recently spoke with an Italian exchange student and asked him what he would miss most about the States. Dead ass, he said chicken parm. That's not an Italian thing. He said the first time he had it, he called his friend back home to tell them about, and she hung up on him. This is too funny. Italians get straight up indignant about what we call Italian food. They take it as a personal insult. Same with butchering Italian. I was in Rome about 8 years ago waiting for a bus. I asked the older gentleman who was waiting if he spoke English, he said no. But as soon as Google Translate butchered Italian, Mother Ducker was fluent in English. Hello, sir. Can you understand me? No, oh, okay, hey. From a Scottish friend of mine, chicken fried steak with biscuits and gravy. Gotta appreciate it when a Scot compliments another country's deep frying. Game respects game. Are buffalo wings American? Because that's modern day ambrosia. Edit, yes of course with blue cheese sauce, I'm a functioning human being. Straight out of Buffalo, New York. Gumbo. I'm talking cooked by somebody raised south of I-10. Given the level of Mexican food in Europe generally, Tex-Mex is insane compared to what we get over here. I went to a Mexican restaurant in Europe and was like, what the hell was that? I'm Mexican and dude. The contrast really is ridiculously stark lol. Mexican here, studied abroad in Germany for half a year about 4 years ago, I agree. Every time I wanted a piece of home and went to a Mexican restaurant I was met with disappointment. However, I went to a Mexican restaurant in Rotterdam and it was amazing. After months of no Mexican food, I kept going back there when I could just to eat tacos, tortas, and my goodness, the micheladas were so good. I still use the michelada recipe to this day. Turns out the owner was from Spain and his wife was from Guadalajara, so not all places are bad. Hashtag X200B, edit, to those asking, Sabor in Rotterdam www.sabersaber.nl. The michelada recipe is as follows, enjoy. 12 ounces light Mexican beer Modelo is good, as is Sal, Tecate or Pacifico. 12 ounces clamato juice, or used tomato juice, 14 cup freshly squeezed lime juice, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon Maggi sauce, 2 teaspoons hot sauce. Tapado is my favorite, add more if you like them spicy. Ice, add tahini to your liking, chili powder, it adds a good sweet spicy to it. Yes, you can add chamoy if you want. My wife is obsessed with Tex-Mex. We studied in Europe for a summer. She couldn't find Mexican food anywhere until we went to Amsterdam and she found authentic Mexican. I thought she was going to pop, she ate so much. Edit, this was 13 years ago. I unfortunately no longer remember the name of the restaurant, nor do I know if it still exists. I'm Italian. I still dream of the meat I've eaten in the USA. Also, Mexican food. By that I mean whatever it is you guys eat in California. Also, junk food. Also, I might have had the 2 best cakes of my life in the US. One was a carrot cake at a wedding, another one was a burnt almond cake. Also, everything that comes with Thanksgiving, the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the deviled eggs. Also, apple pie. Also, I forgot the most important thing. In-N-Out burgers. Also, the breakfast. I loved having that giant-ass food plate and infinite coffee refills. Also, donuts from the local Chinese mom and pop store down the road. Also, bagels. I edited this post and will continue if more stuff comes to mind. The US doesn't get enough credit for food, especially by Italians. Edit. Wow, this blew up, thanks Uanella Stostrich. Europe and Asia, why are Americans so fat? Visits USA, gains 10 pounds in a week. Pavlovian response to thinking about American food installed. Oddly enough, no one seems to have mentioned it but cornbread. Yeah, as a guy who moved here, Americans have got cornbread down to a T. Combined with some soul food? Makes me smile on the inside. Gives me high blood pressure, but smile on the inside too. A nice warm cornbread muffin with some butter and a little drizzle of honey is amazing. Anything smoked, brisket, pork shoulder, chicken, turkey. I've even had smoked burgers. If seasoned well, you don't even need barbecue sauce and it is so tender and juicy. Op is going to make a killin' opening up a barbecue bakery in the UK that serves knee clam chowder, cheesecake, pie and chocolate chip cookies. Edit, add peach cobbler and vanilla ice cream, dear God. Do it right, Op. Edit, are crawfish boils a thing in the UK? Narrator, 3 years later, NHS declared total bankruptcy. I'm sure if the UK got American food restaurants with comparable pricing, the NHS would actually collapse. Lamau. I have relatives in Carolina, I'm UK, and the first time I had vinegar-based barbecue I nearly cried. That stuff for me can't be beat. I'd be ducking huge if I moved to the States. I worked in California for a while and this bakery near me used to have this spicy bread that was packed with cheese and jalapenos. It was greasy as duck, but holy shit, it was good. Cheesy jalapeno bread is so dang good. I just pull chunks right off the loaf, can't be bothered to do anything else with it. This is probably a recipe for disaster, but I'm British and growing up visiting Florida, I would love eating raw cookie dough from the refrigerator section. Cookie dough is so good that, given the option between not eating it, or getting food poisoning, nearly everyone will pick the cookie dough. It's one of the few foods in the country where everyone knows the risk of food poisoning, and everyone makes the conscious, willing, and eager decision to not give a duck. Besides these testimonials to eating the raw cookie dough, whether from the supermarket or your own house, there's now a growing and thriving business in cookie dough made for eating raw. Some fancy grocery stores carry it, there are shops for it just like ice cream shops and bakeries, plus recipes for it online so you can make it yourself. Cookie dough is one of the major food groups. I noticed Pillsbury now has a label that says it's safe raw. Those potatoes with cheese in it you make for Thanksgiving. Edit, wow, thanks, so much response. I mean the double baked one, but the funeral potatoes I have to try them to now. Baked cheesecake Boston chowder pecan pie barbecue ribs. Are you telling me it's not general procedure in other countries to take a rack of ribs, grill that bitch with a nice rub, cover it in sugar sauce, then face the entire thing until you get so dehydrated from the salt content that it gives you weird meat dreams? Smoke that bitch. Low and slow, homie.